didn't turn on the 3 mics, so I had to go back and
3 mics will kill.
Well, I mean, it will kill me, but sure.
3 mics will fill him.
3 mics will fill him.
3 mics.
Wait a minute.
Alright, well, I'll set it to there and see how it goes. Fun times.
That sounds like how the directors direct these shows.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Wait, where is...
I think I've put in more care than they have.
Let me find that note. There it is. Show 5.
Now, granted, they've also all put out product and, you know.
Edited. They actually edited it.
I mean, arguably.
They did it. I didn't say they did it well. They didn't just put in the raw footage.
No, this is all raw footage. It's all one shot. It's
They
incredible.
didn't. They did not. They did not.
Every episode, Hoff does the walk through the fog machine.
They edit in cam like the Vine.
No,
How ridiculous would that be
Oh.
for a show like this to be all done in one shot?
Just edit in cam and just. That'd be great.
It'd be pretty impressive.
Instead, we get this. So this is
Anyway,
episode 5, Circle of Fear. German title's pretty much the same.
yeah, yes, yeah. Which is definitely that's a solid indicator of things.
Yeah, Germany has given up on the show already.
Well, it's they what was it? It was the
They took the first season seriously, and the second season they're just like fuck.
well, yeah. It's
well, I mean, once you heard the Ajogan growl, you knew it was over.
yeah.
And do you think the market in Germany is why nothing has been like Nazi paraphernalia yet? No Nazi ghosts or Nazi space pirates? Or...
I mean, I don't know if they would go there right away. That's not the first thing I think of when I think of supernatural nonsense.
But the Nazis are involved in a lot of supernatural nonsense.
I mean, I agree. I mean, that's a thing. There's Nazi super science. There's the whole.
No, instead they go with Guinea.
There's a whole Hellboy.
Both Papa and Not.
There's a whole Nazi occult thing.
Yeah.
But that's not the first thing I jump to.
I know, but the first thing you would jump to would not be a Jogan either, and that's where they jump.
I mean, you bring up a good point.
I would jump to Nazis magic before I jump to a Jogan, is what I'm saying.
It's true. But again, a Jogan is kind of just a thing they made up, too.
Well, no,
To a large degree, it's a thing they made up. Because they like, this is sort of a thing, kind of, maybe. And just shove this and this and this. It's basically just Robotech. It's they took 3 animes that have very little to do with each other, and they just shoved it all together.
It's more like the original Monster Manual. Like they just bought a bunch of little mini toys.
Also pretty
and they
accurate.
just made up things for it.
They
just scooped up a bunch of names and then made up stats for them.
Yeah, also pretty accurate.
This one's a bunny with a horn.
Yeah, anyway. So we open on possibly the most literal translation of the title, because it is the beach at night, is where we open. And then it quickly goes to not the beach, where the actual... I guess she's supposed to be a witch. I don't know. She looks like a weekend Wiccan to me.
she's a witch of some sort.
Yeah,
she's doing witchy things.
Yeah,
at the very least.
Yeah,
she's attempting to be.
Yeah, she's meddling in dark arts here.
And again, also to a very literal thing of the title of the show.
Yeah,
not the title of the. Not the title of the episode, not the show. I should say. Because she's in a circle.
Yeah, she's got her circle. She's got her... It just looks like she had her haul from the thrift shop out. She just had, like, various shit.
Yeah.
It wasn't even all the stuff. Like, later...
Mostly candles.
Later, they describe what's supposed to be in the ritual.
Uh-huh.
And most of the stuff pictured is not that stuff.
I think she just brought extra
stuff.
Yeah,
like I said, I just got back from the thrift shop. Yeah. It was like, oh, here's my little bunny. And
either she overprepared or she grossly misread the manual.
Yeah. Which would explain what happened to her.
It does explain what happens. You can't... Because, this lady's doing, like, witch stuff. Mm-hmm. She's, chanting and... does she do the whole palm cut thing, or is it something else?
No.
No, she's just doing the...
Yeah, you just do the
She's
circle.
gesturing with a knife.
Yeah, you have to gesture with the knife, vaguely, in the direction of spirits.
Seems legit.
One of the things that it popped out, it stuck out in my ear in this one, and they repeated a few times, is one of the incantations is calling on the dreadlords of the watchtowers of the east. It's a real word salad bullshit right there.
Wow. That's some fun.
That also sounds like a really terrible module that Kelly would have us play.
100%.
Yeah, it does.
100%. It would be fucking awful.
I think we already played it.
No. The version of that would be like annoyingly literal. Like there would be several dreadlords, so to speak, and they would be in watchtowers. And basically, if you get within 200 miles of them, they just immediately kill you. And you have to. And Kelly just looks at you and shrugs. Go figure it out. Use your bullshit powers to somehow reach them. And
No, you're right. We were on a west coast anyway. But we did definitely.
Well, see,
have
the
those
wizard,
towers on
the
there.
wizards of the coast have to fight the dreadlords of the watchtowers of the east.
yeah, that was it. They've held them off. They've held them at bay for many a year.
Yeah, that's why you get east of the mountains and everyone's so weird.
Well, I mean, yeah.
So, some Jogan soundy voice is growling shit back at her. And it's all nonsense, really. Some of it's kind of hard to understand because it's trying to be the growly voice.
Yeah, it's basically just vaguely threatening things.
Yeah.
I didn't really pick up on
Yeah.
them. I could have, but I didn't.
I wasn't going to put in the effort to rewind either.
Yeah.
I'm like, if you're not going to edit this so I can hear it, I'm not going to try to listen to it. So
I was like, I get the idea.
bad thing, scary thing, boo boo.
Boogity boo.
Yeah.
If Jogan wants a banana, she doesn't have a banana. Got it.
Yeah. So then she gets like tossed out of her circle. She gets fucking ring out.
And also like starts getting invisibly clawed up.
Yeah.
Like she's in this robe thing and it just getting torn.
Should have had the banana.
Should have had the banana.
Yep. Or alternatively, not had the whatever bullshit she got at Goodwill that day.
Yeah, or whatever from the thrift shop pissed off the spirit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. all the finest witches and warlocks go to the thrift store. It's about the greatest quality of protective charms, because that's what you want in your protective charms, is the cheap stuff.
Well, I mean,
sometimes
it explains how Macklemore got famous through witchcraft.
Yeah.
So you're suggesting thrift shop has a much deeper meaning?
Yes.
It seems legit.
So,
I mean, I guess that's why the chorus is shut up and shut up and shut up and die, right?
So we get to cut to daytime at the beach. Hoff is working his daytime job, hanging out in the tower. Teague walks up, just walking like an asshole.
Yep.
He just asks Hoff what he knows about witchcraft. That's his opener. Not, hey man, what's up?
Have you ever been to a thrift shop?
Not yeah.
What do you know about thrift
Do you want to go
shops?
thrifting this weekend? None of that shit.
Yeah.
Just what do you know about witchcraft? And then Hoff gives a very Hoffy answer. Says he met Linda Blair once.
Yeah.
It's like, her movie's not even about witchcraft.
I mean, I think that only reinforces his point. To be fair.
Yeah. And so then we just immediately cut to Hoff and Angie in the woods, digging around the ritual site, and Angie does like a lap around the tree that the shit was all set up near, and then a little spooky sort of thing plays when she does it. And then she sees the grimoire up in the branch, or as Hoff later pronounces it, grimoire.
Yeah.
Nice. Are we still in cold open, or did it?
Yeah, no, this is still cold open.
Oh God.
That's the second indicator, really. How long the cold open is, and how close the German title is.
Yeah.
You can triangulate the quality of the episode.
Uh-huh. These are your guide stones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She looks up and sees the book in there, and she like gets it down. They don't really show her getting it down. They just cut to her holding it. And she's like,
mad ups. What do you want?
yeah, mad boosties. So she's like, oh look, it's all like it's more burnt up on the inside than it is on the outside. And it's kind of funny because like as soon as like Hoff touches the book and like turns a page, he immediately turns it to one that's just pristinely white in there. Which later they show there's plenty that's not burnt up, but it is kind of funny that it's immediately it's like, oh, and then he kind of pushes it back.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh yeah, it looks like the fire started like inside the book.
Boogity-boo.
Yeah, and then
And there's more creepy.
Yeah, they start walking away, and then you get more of the it's like they're whispering the lines of the spell that she said. She was saying they're like doing the creepy Adrogan whispers. And then we build a little tension, and then the opening happens.
And then the opening dispels it as per its want.
Yeah.
It ruins everything. And now, after the opening, Angie is performing kitchen sink science. She's totally in the kitchen sink of her apartment. She has an apartment now. This is where we learned of this. The shitty trailer from season 1.
So I have a question real quick, just because it's just before we get going.
Might have an answer.
So has it been established? Because I seem to remember from different things that they're trying to set up Hoff as still kind of skeptical about supernatural shit.
Yeah, that's been pretty.
Yeah.
Even though it's been like absolutely certain that there is supernatural shit because he's punched it in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
No, that comes up again this episode.
You got it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, we will get into that again.
All right.
Yeah, it's been pretty consistent that Hoff remains skeptical of it. I said it before, but it is like inverse Scully in many respects.
Yeah. Okay, so we have brought this up.
Yeah, because
I was just thinking inverse Scully.
Right,
so,
because Angie does all the science stuff that Scully would do, but she's like, oh yeah, magic bullshit immediately. Like in the first episode of the second season, she's like, oh yeah, joking. They killed one last week or whatever.
Yeah.
It's
and then the slime one, she just starts making shit up and it's correct.
yeah.
Doesn't
Also,
even give a shit.
yeah, true. And that one's not even supernatural, I think.
Wow.
It's seemingly not supernatural.
It's not a thing I'm aware of, so.
I like how, if you think about it, Hoff tries to do something different to everything he encounters so far, right? First, the Adrogan, he's just gonna fight, right? He wants to fuck the species ripoff.
Yeah.
He wants to blow up with fire the slime. And he wants to protect the alien.
Right. No, you got a good point. Yeah. So yeah, it basically depends on how like mystical it is, because he wasn't super like, he wasn't very like skeptical of the alien thing.
No.
But to be fair, he also got like brainwaves immediately.
He also was like fully on board with the slime thing right away too.
Yeah. But
super science he's on board with, supernatural he's not.
Yeah.
I think we cracked it.
That seems to be the dividing line.
Yeah. But, okay. It was like, here, this is an Adrogan, and I don't think they exist. Let me punch it. I don't think it existed then either.
But we are a firm believer of kitchen sink science here.
Gotcha.
So she's, and like I said, like she, evidently the Teague money is really paying off because she's got an apartment now.
Yeah.
Just
completely ignore the trailer.
The science, what it consists of, is taking like some tweezers and pulling off flakes of like burnt stuff off the cover and exposing a pretty intact cover underneath these weird flakes of burnt shit, and then turning some pages, and then she's done with this weird science experiment over the kitchen sink.
Yeah, it's weird. I
like she has all kinds of fucking accoutrement to handle it. She's got like all kinds of shit there, and then she just takes a couple things off with the tweezers and like, fuck it, I'm just gonna take it to the bookshop.
Seems legit.
Yeah.
Well, I think she realized, I don't know, what would I even do to this? I just gotta take this to the bookshop.
Yeah, I can't science a book. I don't know what I'm doing. So, she's taking it to the bookshop, and she gets bumped into by like a dude right outside the bookshop, and like book falls down. Then she looks around, dude's gone. There's no dude anywhere on the street.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird scene. Like she sort of walks up to the door and like starts to open the door, and then she gets bumped into from behind, like a dude just sort of ran across the sidewalk, I should say.
Uh-huh.
But when she turns around to find him, and she doesn't see anybody on the street
Yeah.
whatsoever. And you barely see the dude,
Yeah, no, you just see like
like an arm,
yeah,
more or less.
yeah, full on bicycle wizard bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, spooky music's playing.
Yeah.
Oh, and did she get like pickpocketed or
No.
did the book go?
No, the book fell down, and then she just picks up the book.
Okay.
The book falls down, and it falls open to a page that's completely intact of like a full color illustration.
Oh,
Some
okay.
demon
so
shit.
So at least it opened to something.
Yeah.
So there's something that came from this, and not just some dude smacked her.
Kind of.
Well-
but this page doesn't really matter anymore, and it's the picture on the cover that matters later.
Yeah.
Okay.
What actually happened is she picked up the book, and now spooky things have happened. That's the thing.
I also
Okay.
think she was trying like maybe the wrong door, and then it got hit, and then it fell over to the door she's supposed to open.
That's also possible. But no, she was bumped into by a weird phantom man.
Yeah.
That's basically the gist.
The funky phantom got her.
Yes.
Yes, the funky phantom got him.
So she goes inside, and there's this dude who's immediately just kind of a creep dude. He's just creepy.
He's just
immediately.
weird.
Yeah.
He's a weird book guy.
Yeah.
Is what you would think.
I referred to him as the shop creep the entire time.
Sure.
um,
To me, he reminded me of the narrator from what is it, Dragon Strike.
a little bit, yeah.
He had a little bit of that vibe to him.
Yeah.
That's not a good vibe.
No.
It's not a good vibe.
No. Like, this would be the part you would want Jeff Goldblum to be, and instead they got this guy.
Yeah, yeah. This guy is he's somewhere between Dragon Strike guy and Jeff Goldblum.
It's not a good combination.
It's not a reasonable combination either.
No.
But it's true.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have the weird delivery. Not the Jeff Goldblum delivery, but just the same kind of, like, it's as off as Jeff Goldblum's, but not in the same direction.
Yes, he does the delivery like the Dragon Strike guy, but he does it in a Jeff Goldblum fashion.
I would so pay money to see Jeff Goldblum do the Dragon Strike video.
That would be probably
Well,
really
I would want him to do the Wild Space video instead, so we could get that released.
I mean, no,
yeah,
that is better. You're right about that.
You are right. He
Everybody
can go,
laughs, and then you stab Malibu. This is
Yeah, no.
I mean, it can't be. If you already got him on, got him on for Wild Space, you could probably get him to do the Dragon
do
Strike
both,
video.
yeah.
It's
Well,
not a
if
lot.
you do Wild Space, you can get him in full the master thing with the little blue lip and.
Oh right, yeah.
I mean, he might be wearing that anyway. You don't know.
It's true. Yeah, just ask on the third Wednesday. And,
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's just what he wears.
This is what he wears.
yeah,
Third Wednesday of every month.
yeah. So Dungeon Master Goldblum, she shows him the book. He's just like, I need a copy of this that's not all burnt up. And he's like, oh fuck, I know that book. He's like, over there
Yeah, he just immediately like, oh yes,
in our creepy grimoire section.
this random book.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
peruse our creepy magic book selection.
mind you, she doesn't show him anything inside the book. She just shows the cover of the book, which just has like an embossed picture.
I don't think it really has any. Doesn't have
Demon
any
dude.
letters either.
There's no words. There's nothing. There's just the image, just
Yeah.
engraved in there.
Little do you know that they print these off like 500 at a time. In
Yeah.
China. These are the dime a dozen books.
Yeah. So and she just goes over, and so she goes over there to where he points, and it's just like the paperback version of this book of spells.
Yeah.
It's like the bullshit one.
Is it like of the Hoyles books where they've been reprinted so many times by people who don't know?
Well,
what's
the one she's got is like $70, and the one that she's found is like $1.50.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got the leather bound, and it's the paperback like airport bookstore version.
Right.
That's approved by the TSA.
Yeah.
And Angie, she's there for the real
When
shit.
summoning, redacted.
Yeah. So she wants the real shit, and the guy's like, "All right," and just shows her the basement. Like, it's probably down there somewhere, and then just fucks off for a bit.
Well,
Let's go down to
I
my
think-
creepy basement.
I believe he gets busy with something else.
Yeah.
He has something else to take care of, and she's in this weird dark hall.
Yeah,
weird
it's
dark
supposed to be the basement, but it's just a hallway.
weird dark basement hallway. Is the best way to explain it.
They just threw some other shit from the thrift store in a hallway and called it the basement.
So she's having like crab walk down.
Yeah. Bumps into like, some little gargoyle statue thing. It's like, oh, hello there, talks to him for a minute. Digs in a couple of old dusty books, finds the one she's looking for.
Like freakishly quickly.
Yeah, it's like the third book.
Yeah. She has 3 books in this weird dumpster pile of books.
Yeah. And DM Goldblum comes back just in time to be creepy. Just like hang out over her shoulder.
And be like, hey, you found it.
Yeah. Says like, evidently the demon on the cover is serranos, which I believe might be a type of chili.
I thought that was some sort of guide to the hunt, but I could be wrong.
But in this version, he is described as the second in command to the devil.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's not the case. But sure.
No,
He's a little devil.
they just like we said before, they just find words of things that exist and then just write a new thing about them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that Serranios is the person that the chili relleno is based off of, and it was just So.
And also the serrano pepper. No.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of.
No.
If you make a serrano into a chili relleno,
They're second.
tiniest.
They're
you
second-
summon serranos.
Oh, okay. I was gonna
And
say
he eats dinner.
he eats dinner. He's not a great conversationalist, but it's all right.
He talks to that real creepy boy.
He's actually a marmot.
He's actually a marmot.
Well, it's a serrano pepper.
A marmot.
You can make a whole platter of them.
A marmot. Second in command to the devil.
So anyway, so after she gets the book,
Wait, a marmot, second in command to the devil, Jersey Devil of the Alps. Anyway.
So then we cut to a scene that really made me giggle a little bit just for the image, which is Angie with the book, and it's giving off some real kid show vibes because she's like in her big comfy chair and she has this big oversized book. It just looks like she's ready to read you a bedtime story.
Yeah.
It's great. And she's like reading what this ritual. She's like flipping through like no bullshit. Oh yeah, here circle some bullshit. This is the shit I'm looking for. And then here we see Hoff driving down the street. He gets pulled over. Not like a real pullover, but the cops just like click the lights on real fast, pull up next to him. And they're like, hey Hoff, how's it going? And they ask, like, what about this guy who hires you to look into this bullshit, like this murder? Like,
What's the deal?
is he on the up and up? And Hoff's like, that's confidential. Really, Hoff just doesn't know shit about Teague anyway.
It is technically confidential, but also he knows nothing.
Yeah, so, yeah. He has nothing to give anyway. And basically the cops are saying that, like, it's been the case a few times that people have hired people to look into crimes that they have committed themselves. And they're just like, keep an eye on this guy. We don't know if he's been involved in the murder of this thrift shop weekend.
Oh yeah, and I think we might have skipped that they said that this isn't like the first time that happened, right? This has happened a couple more times. I think they said that.
I can't remember.
I think just for extra information there, Marty.
Mm-hmm.
like I think that the cops had said like this wasn't the first time somebody been witch murdered or whatever. That didn't happen like 4 more times in recent history. Anyway,
yeah, Angie's getting out her accoutrement for this spell. She needs like some salt, some wine, a knife.
candles.
She needs 4 candles, different colors. Side note: Angie does not respect her knives.
No.
She just has them fucking casually thrown in a drawer,
Yeah.
just with all kinds of other bullshit, like can openers and
Screwdrivers.
yeah,
Lighters.
it's all kinds of bullshit in there.
No, yeah, that's one of the worst knife drawers I've ever seen.
A marmot.
Yep.
And she's like digged around for a while in this drawer of unprotected knives.
Yeah. Also true.
And then she finds the one she's looking for.
There's an unusual bit, and she's like, "Oh, it has to be this one.
Yeah.
This is perfect."
Yeah, this is my knife. She's supposed to face the east, so she takes like a little moment to orient herself in her room.
Yeah, she knows which way is.
She
north.
doesn't. Yeah,
She knows which direction is north, and then has to.
Yeah, has to figure it out from there. I do think it's funny. She knows which direction north is in her apartment, but not east.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I know if I'm in a room in my house, I know which direction north is, but I don't always think about which direction east is. You know, if I have to say which way is east, I'd have to be like, oh, so this way, and then I'd have to figure that out. I don't just be like, oh yeah, that's the east wall on any given thought. It's just like, oh, that's that wall that has the thing on it.
So you do the same thing. You'll stand up. You'll.
Well, I don't think about the directions all that much in particular. Where I don't if I'm sitting in a chair, I'm like, oh, I'm facing north at the moment. I'm facing north right now. I'm facing north right now while I'm reading.
Well, no, I don't.
Well, I'm reading the book right now.
No, but she immediately goes, okay, north, and then she's like north, and then she goes south, and then gets to the east.
I mean, yeah, that's how the thought process goes.
Anyway, so she's got to make like a.
I'd be like, somebody stumbles into my room and says, which way is east? I have to be like, so north, and then, okay, yeah, that way. Yeah. If some random person stumbled into my room and they would get, which way is east?
I just think it's weird that if you automatically know which way north is, but not know where east is for a moment, it seems weird to me.
I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you.
I'd have to think about my house for a minute and go, okay, yeah, that way. I wouldn't automatically go, okay, that's the north wall. No, I don't even know which one the north wall is. I have to think about it for a second. Then once I immediately know which one the north one is, I know which one the east one is. I don't go, that was the north one, so let me draw out the fucking compass rose and figure out where the east one is.
Well, for me, it's I know which one the north one is, and I just go, okay, so this one's the east.
Yeah.
Anyway.
End of the episode.
Yeah, that's it. Fade to black. Over.
Yeah.
No.
So she has to draw like a circle with her knife. So again, every time, like every step of doing the circle thing with the knife, she gets wrong on the first stretch. She's like, hold the knife, out, straight arm, both hands, pointed down. So she's like having to correct every little step. Yeah. And then she does her little circle and starts doing the chanty bits.
Uh-huh.
And the chanty bits there's like kind of a little rhythm to it, and as she finds it, she starts like, oh, okay, and she figures out the little nursery rhyme style rhythm to it. When she gets to talking about the Hyde Marmot himself, Serrano's, there's like a little draft that happens in her apartment. She's like, oh, and then she gets kind of little spooked out by that. And so she's like, all right, I'm freaking myself out here. And she just like puts it down. That's enough for right now. And she goes to turn on the shower. And so this is the scene where they would have, if they could have gotten away with gratuitous nudity, they would have. and instead it's just kind of weird. Like she's starting to shower just in her underwear. Like they could have just had her in a bathrobe.
Yeah. Yeah, it does seem weird. There's something weird about it. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it either.
Yeah, it's less weird if she
it's
has...
like it feels less pervy, but at the same time, she's technically showing more skin than she was wearing a bath towel. I don't know.
It's weird. It's just, it's weird. But she's like turned on the shower, and then she hears some shit going on out there. So she like puts on her jean shorts and grabs a baseball bat. So she's still just in her bra, and she's goes out there to check.
Yeah, looks into her living room.
Puts on her combat cutoffs. There's nothing untowards out there.
But they do some things where the camera's kind of peeking at her. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Which actually isn't terrible camera work.
No.
It's just where I think maybe it's the next day.
But then
there's a bit where like the camera sort of like goes under the table.
But then when she closes the door, the candles reignite. The ones that she had blown out when she was like, "Oh fuck, this is too weird."
Yeah, I believe there's a bit where it might be here or it might be a little bit later, where what is it? It looks like there's a camera sort of like sitting on the table, like someone's like peeking out from under the table, and when she comes around, the camera goes under the table, which is a glass table, so it can still look up through the table at her. But no, it's like the camera's trying to hide.
So
creep on her.
Yeah, and then the next morning, this fucking dude.
Yeah, this guy. I don't know. This guy. I feel bad for him at one point, and also the way he acts is weird.
Yeah, there's no winners in this one.
Yeah.
So this dude comes in, and he's ostensibly, and he actually is, but right now he looks more like a porn plumber than an actual plumber.
Does he like knock on the door and stuff?
Yeah, he knocks on the door.
Yeah. So this dude goes into Angie's apartment and he like knocks on the door, but he just enters.
Yeah.
Like the door's unlocked or something.
Yeah. And we don't know exactly what time it is, but it seems to be fairly early in the morning for some asshole to be letting himself into your apartment.
Yeah.
He starts like fucking checking out all the shit. Well, but he's looking around like, what the fuck is all this?
Yeah, he's looking at like all the weird ritual stuff that Angie left out.
Yeah.
And there's creepy music playing, of course.
Yeah, and then he like goes in her bedroom, and like she's just sleeping.
Yeah, she's asleep in the bedroom.
Yeah. And so she wakes up and she's like freaked out by this weirdo standing at the foot of her bed.
Understandably.
Yeah, no, it's 100% the correct reaction. Some weird dude. He's like, "Oh, I'm the plumber. The landlord sent me. Got a key." And she's like, "How about I call the cops unless you leave?" And then as he's leaving, she's like, "I wish creeps like him would die." And then we get to Teague spraying water on individual flowers with a squirt bottle.
Which apparently you're not supposed to do.
I don't think that's how you water plants ever. But it's especially like
my understanding is that if you like water on the flowers, because that's what you're doing it directly on the flowers.
Yeah,
like rots the flowers. That's my understanding. That's what I've been told.
Well, and also like it's not a good thing to put water directly on something delicate in the sunlight, in direct sunlight.
Also true,
because then the focuses the light.
It focuses the light, and they don't like that either.
Yeah. He might just be doing this to be a dick to flowers.
True.
We don't know.
Teague's actions are inscrutable.
Yes. And so this is the funny part, because they have described the book as a grimoire up at some point. I can't remember when exactly. And here's where Hoff calls it the grimoire. And that's what he says. He says the book is called Grimoire.
Yeah, like that's his name.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, is a very Hoff misunderstanding.
It is. And he immediately either understands the Hoff translation, or he's fully on board with the book being called Grimoire. And And so his ears perk up. He's like, "Oh, really? What's going on?" And Hoff's like, "What? Is the book full of ghosts and goblins?" And T's like, "Yeah, it absolutely is full of ghosts and goblins."
He's like, yes, yeah, pretty accurate.
So Hoff or Angie's leaving her apartment, and like outside, Hoff like swings by, picks her up, take her to a diner for breakfast, and the guy behind the counter is 100% being screeched to Angie's Lisa Turtle.
Mm-hmm.
It's a thing that evidently they've had going back and forth for a while, and she tells him to get fried, and then as he's
it's a bit more playful than the
it's
a bit more playful than the Screech Lisa Turtle situation, but it's obviously he's genuinely interested in flirting, and she is not interested, but they're both playing it off as a joke.
Yeah. So after she tells him to get fried, the guy is walking behind the counter and trips and just totally dunks himself into a fryer.
Yeah. Like his hand.
Yeah, just like his
Just his hand.
Yeah.
That's not so
but
funny.
he does it.
His entire body.
It's a very small fryer, and he like kind of trips and then like ooh, and like kind of.
It's real weird.
Yeah, leans onto it as he dunks his hands in. It's real weird.
It's real weird. It's like his knees just sort of give out while he's walking towards it, and he just right into the fryer.
But then like kind of like leans hard and
Yeah,
it's weird. So Hoff like runs back there.
both his knees give out, and he gets and he sort of stumbles and loses strength. So yeah, he's one hand fall all the way in.
It's both hands.
Is it both hands?
Yeah, it's both hands.
Okay.
And then Hoff grabs the ice water, pours it on him.
Hoff immediately
Yeah.
starts pouring ice water on his hands.
Yeah. This shakes up Angie.
Oh, also, the screen goes all weird when this happens.
Yeah,
too.
it goes like it does the like slow mo, but without high frame rate. So it does the jerky slow mo thing. Yeah. So this has rattled Angie pretty good. She's like a little bit later. She's outside the diner as they're like hauling the guy away in the ambulance, and like some detective dude talks to Hoff for a second. Like he heard about this on the scanner, and he asks what Angie did to the guy because she looks guilty over there.
Because she looks guilty, and I think probably also because they were just
Fornicating?
Yes, fornicating. No, they were just having an argument, so to speak. That's scare quotes and everything.
Oh, okay.
So to speak, just before it happened. So it's like, did she do something to make this happen? He don't know.
And so Hoff sees her over there, kind of looking weird. He runs over to talk to her, and she's like, "Oh, I did this. This is
something I did.
Yeah, like
somehow I made this happen.
Yeah,
I don't know how, but somehow I made this happen.
Yeah. And so the porn plumber guy, he goes back into the apartment.
Yeah, well, this has happened.
Yeah. And he's like taking a closer look at everything now that she's gone. Really being a creep.
See what you got here.
He's like starts digging through like the bra and shorts she was wearing the day before.
Well, maybe they were laying out.
Yeah,
it's not like he dug through drawers.
No, but he's still digging through her clothes.
Yeah,
like a fucking weirdo.
Yeah, well, he goes back into the apartment with the same weird sort of with the same weird overly cautious thing that he was doing before.
Yeah, but he's really
scoping everything out.
Yeah,
and then like, what is it? He sees her underwear like laying out on the bed or whatever, and he's like,
yeah,
what is this magical device? And then just leaves it and then goes to what he's doing in the plumbing.
Yeah, so Hoff catches back up with Angie, which is kind of weird because they didn't really show him like separate. Really, he catches back up to her for some reason, and like asks her what's going on, and Angie's like, "Oh, like fucking, I think there was something to that shit I was fucking around with." Talks about how the knife chose her, like it was like
she's all the various little spooky stuff she's been collecting all that in her head.
Yeah,
and so now she's convinced that serious spooky stuff is happening.
Yeah, and like the ritual, like as she progressed through it, it seemed to almost like gain momentum and pull her along, like like she was supposed to do it. And
The words became easier to say.
Yeah.
And everything, all those.
And so, yeah, Angie's like, I'm just going to go home and just fucking throw all that shit in the garbage. And then Hoff, noticing how sensitive the situation might be, suggests that maybe next Halloween they should rent out Angie.
Again, in a very Hoff move. Completely make light of the trauma.
Yeah.
I mean,
And also
that's how you
propose
roll.
some light prostitution.
I mean, was it...
If you rent out an Angie Harmon, what do you think is going to happen?
You're right. You're right.
If Hoff is suggesting you rent out a woman, what do you think is going to happen?
She's going to do research on
This
plots.
isn't Griff just buried in hot women to take pictures of their hands or whatever bullshit he does. We're talking about Hoff here.
Yeah.
Have you seen his murder jacket? He wears pimp clothes.
But was he wet at the time?
Not that we could see. We don't know if he just splashes a little in places we don't.
It's true.
Some walking around water.
He might be juicing, literally. It's just like...
Maybe he has like a pocket, his breast pocket full of like a Ziploc bag.
Is that what he
And when
means?
it's go time, he just pounds the chest. And then just,
Yeah.
just Hulkamania open.
That's how you weaponize that ability.
Yeah.
Obviously. Keep a Ziploc bag full of water.
You wouldn't like me when I'm wet.
Is that how Lamar does it too? Or
Huh? Namor?
yeah.
No. He just punches people. Mostly.
Yeah, mostly.
This kicks. Sometimes he shoots lightning.
Yeah. So, and so as they get back to the apartment, the plumber is like turning a wrench.
He's doing plumber things.
Yeah, and then like something like it's real unclear what exactly happens, and he just gets the weird heebie-jeebies. Like I don't know.
I think if I remember right is like he looks at his hands, and they're like covered in like a weird substance. I think the implication is that like, it is a classic blood for water thing.
But the thing is also they're doing the weird shaky, blurry cams, so you can't see shit anyway.
So he was jerking off to bra and panties on the...
Sure, with a wrench.
Really wrenching it.
That explains it.
That's why he became a plumber, because his junk is in her wall, and he was using a wrench to manipulate it.
Yeah.
It all makes sense.
Laying pipe.
So he looks at his hands, and they're like, he's like, I got a weird thing on it, and then he basically just starts freaking out, and then he just starts getting the shit kicked out of him. In short,
Well, no. First he just goes bug nuts.
yeah.
And he's like, I'm fucking gonna show her that bitch. And like starts to hide in her closet.
Oh right, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, he's obviously got evil intent in his mind because some weird shit with the wrench. And then
Well, it's the demons possessing him or whatever.
and then he goes to hide in her closet, closes the closet door. Then immediately the doors get flung back open and he just goes full Ed Norton in Fight Club on himself and just starts tossing himself around this fucking room.
Yeah.
Just kicking his own ass. Obviously supposed to be some invisible force just laying...
Just throw him around.
Yeah, just kicking the shit out of him. And then Angie is going back to the apartment. Well, see, you jumped a little bit ahead, because first what happens is it's just a little weird thing with the hands. And then as she's going up the stairs, this neighbor stops her. And it's like, hey, Angie, I'm glad I caught you. Is your apartment really cold? And Angie's like, not really any more than usual. She's like, what about all the shit streaks running down the wall?
Shit streaks?
She says there's stuff on the wall. It just looks like shit streaks.
There's like weird...
It's supposed to probably be blood.
Yeah, there's like weird goop coming out
But
of it.
it looks just like there's just shit running down the wall.
It looks more like poop than blood. But it's probably... I'm pretty
They
sure
ran out of red food coloring.
I'm pretty sure it's the blood. I mean, either that or they just did a crappy job.
You know, it could be that this guy freaked out because Angie took a shit in the sink.
It could be.
He's like, ah!
He's like, I'll fucking kill her.
That bitch. Shit in the sink. Who does that?
I mean, that's a good alternative explanation.
How's it going down there?
'Cause, he-
Find anything?
So she's like, all right. She says it's like she does. It's not even like, I think she swipes it and says it's plasma. She's like, it's plasma. And then just like runs up to her apartment, and this fucking plumber is just getting shit canned in there.
Yeah.
And she tries to get in and she can't. She tells the neighbor to call 911. Then she finally gets in and plumber's dead.
Yeah. Like something's holding the door closed. Like it's open, but she can't.
Yeah.
Got it.
Next scene, the same detective from the diner is there, and he's like, all right, I don't think she did this to this guy, but it's pretty fucking weird that two people got fucked up around her within like 10 minutes of each other.
Yeah.
So he's not
wrong.
And Angie's just a complete wreck. She's like on the couch holding like a stuffed puppy or something. And she's like, I told that guy to get fried, and he fucking fried himself. This guy, I said that this creeps like this should die, and then he fucking died. This shit's adding up. And Hoff tries to comfort her, but it's not going.
She's not having it.
No.
No.
So they go back to the bookshop, and the creep dude is like, oh yeah, I fucking pegged you as like a potential witch, like right the fuck away. That's why I didn't want to show you the real book until you asked nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much how he.
I thought you were a real witch, so I figured I'd give you the cheap shit, and then when you came back and
Well,
said,
it wasn't.
No, he's trying to prevent her from doing witchy things.
Yeah.
Well, but wouldn't you just go? No, of course I don't have anything in my fucking face.
No, but he's bound by the librarian's code. You don't understand, Mark.
Yeah.
Must take out keys, lead to spooky basement.
He can't refuse a direct request for books.
Yeah. So he explains that she basically created a summoning circle out of her entire apartment, and it's still active, and it's probably snagged Serranios in there. He's there for dinner, and she has no chili relleno, so he's real fucking pissed. Or maybe someone else. Who knows? He's literally like, yeah, could be him or someone else.
It could be one of many marmots.
Yeah.
There's so many of them.
You've left the marmot door open. Any number of marmots are there, and they're hungry. And each one wants a different meal.
Marmots are terrible house guests.
They really are. Anyway, you gotta close that marmot door. And Hoff cannot help. He's very adamant. He's useless in this situation.
Yeah, it's something about how about the one who opened it has to be the one who
Yeah.
does it.
So they go to the apartment, and this fucking dollar store Goldblum is trying to coach up Angie as they're like going up the stairs, telling her, you know, they're gonna try to scare you, they're gonna try to spook you, and these fuckers, they lie, and you just gotta fucking power through it. They can't hurt you directly, so
Yeah.
you just gotta do your shit.
This is the supplier. He's probably behind it all. Yeah, no, they're all liars.
So they go in there and start doing the ritual shit again. Angie's got to like, I don't know, she's really thrown off her game. Like, she can't find the yellow candle even though it's just on the table in front of her. She's just shaky here. This dude is just holding the book. That's gonna be his entire job, is hold the book.
Yeah. Like he can't help, but he can advise.
Yeah.
I think of the rules. Because, like I said before, Hoff can't help.
Yeah.
But he can sort of be there to just coach.
Yeah. So Hoff's just hanging out outside.
Uh-huh.
He's just hanging out on the sidewalk. And they're doing their ritual shit inside. the candles start flaring up like Kane's making his way to the ring.
Yeah.
He's the discount Goldblum's just like telling him to keep going.
Just ignore it. Power through.
Yep. Camera's doing all kinds of shaky moves here. Woo.
Yeah, showing spooky stuff.
Yeah. Angie starts failing her will saves. She wants to pull the eject cord. And he's like, no, you gotta keep going. Her house turns more and more into a weird Halloween haunted mansion.
Yep.
Like, the painting on the wall starts spinning around in circles.
Uh-huh.
She starts hallucinating. She sees like her... first, before she sees her parents, the person off screen just throws the pillow at her head, which is kind of my favorite part.
Yeah.
It's just like one of the couch pillows just bounces off her head.
Yeah.
I
It's like really demons. You're throwing pillows at her.
yeah. I thought you couldn't harm her directly.
They couldn't harm her directly, but they can annoy her directly.
So she starts hallucinating immediately after the pillow strike to the head. So it could have given her a concussion. We don't know.
Possible. She has a very heavy pillow.
She's small frame. You don't know no neck muscles. Her brain just rattled around in there. Like the marble in a spray paint can. Just ding 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 ding, and then she starts seeing her parents in coffins.
Yeah, I don't know if her parents are dead.
I don't think they are.
But they're in coffins. They're acting like they're dead.
Or the same coffin, really. They take
Yeah.
out.
They went.
It's a take him coffin situation.
Yeah, first
They went to Florida. It's the same deal.
It's like Manny faces, but with a coffin.
a little bit.
It's Manny bodies.
A little bit. So yeah, like first the mom, then the dad.
Yep. And then she sees like the dead thrift store Wiccan from the cold open. She shows up, which I'm not even sure if Angie ever saw her.
She saw the body, I think.
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
I don't remember. The body might not have even been there when they got there.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, she's there. She tries to spook.
It's not really important because
No.
she's not there as the dead thrift store Wiccan. She's there as the demon itself.
Yeah. Just dressed in dead Wiccan
Yeah.
accoutrement.
Wearing her face.
Yeah.
Got it.
Tries to spook her out. Angie keeps going. So the ghost just yells at her.
Yeah.
And then all the windows in the apartment like blow out. And then Hoff like sees that happen and just fucking jumps and just starts scaling the fire escape.
Yeah. Hoff's like, fuck this, I'm going in there anyway.
Yep, I gotta
don't
go
care.
in. And then twist time. Woo! Turns out Jeff Goldblum is a demon dude.
Apparently.
Yeah, and he's just been using Angie to summon all his Marmot friends.
Yeah.
So like,
No shit.
yeah, who would have thought? Oh yeah, you just got to keep doing the ritual if you want it to stop. That's how rituals work.
Nah.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, these things are all about lies, so just, you know, don't pay attention to anything that's going on and continue on. Cause
Yeah.
Well, it is weird and doesn't make a lot of sense in some regards. And that why would the other demons try and stop her from doing the ritual?
Yeah.
Well, this guy's trying to progress the whole thing.
Yeah. It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah. It makes more sense if this is where he gets possessed. This is where he gets possessed and turns evil. But that's apparently not what's happening.
Yeah, it's really like
I'm saying that's what makes more sense.
I
not
know.
That's what happened.
I know, but at the same time, his advice was 100% correct.
Exactly.
You just have to power through.
No.
I know. And we're not sure why the demons are trying to stop it either.
Yeah.
None of it makes sense.
Power struggle.
It's weird. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Anyway, the book gets just like yanked out of Angie's hands.
Yeah, he's got the book now, right?
No, it just ends up on the ground.
Is it? Oh, right.
And then Hoff starts wrestling the dude.
Yeah.
He
Right.
starts wrestling with the guy, and then he kills the dude with a lamp, but not the way you would think to kill a dude with a lamp. He stabs him with it and then electrocutes him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like a big like
Everyone knows that's the
Person
way you
height.
kill devils.
person head lamp. Well, that's how you kill a person with a devil in them.
Yeah, he's kill him.
Same way as most things.
Yep. And then Angie finishes the ritual, and then everything stops. And so they're like, Hoff's like, all right, I want to go get her. cup of coffee while we just leave the second dead body in your apartment this week?
Time to go bowling.
Yeah, it's been like 24 hours and there's been 2 people dead. 2 dead people in this room.
Yeah. And
It's just full of fucking marmots at this point.
Yeah, it's just loaded with marmots.
nothing but marmots.
They're just pouring out those
Yeah.
windows.
It's just marmot shit leaking down the walls downstairs.
They didn't show it. They didn't show the neighbor lady again, but she's just being eaten alive by marmots. Right
Yeah.
now.
So, like, as they're leaving, like, Teague is, like, walking up. And he's, like, asks if they got serranos. And Hoff's like, yeah, if I took care of his ass. And
Oh, I think this is also where they're bringing the body out too.
yeah, this is where they're bringing out the body. Like, the EMTs just have him.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's no mistaking this guy maybe didn't die. No, he's 100%
No,
dead.
yeah, 100% dead. Because again, at this point, I still thought, oh, did he get possessed or something?
Yeah.
And
Did he just exercise? Did Hoff think, electricity solved the last problem, so let me solve this problem with
Well,
electricity?
my thought process was that he at the time, because I still was unsure about it, was that he got possessed in mid ritual.
Yeah.
And then Hoff just electrocuted him and knocked him out for a little bit, just shocked him to the point of unconscious, and then or stunned at least, and then they just finished the ritual and that was it. But no, they're carting out his corpse.
Yeah, just 100% murdered. And Teague's like, look, you can't win against a force like this. And Hoff's like, look, I kicked his ass today. I'll kick his ass. He comes back. And Teague's like, you can only play for a tie. And Hoff's like, no, Hoff doesn't play for a tie. And then fucking credits roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Did the episode make a lot of sense? No.
So,
Not really.
as I said, they do some fun camera stuff every now and
Yeah.
then. But that's about it in this episode.
It's
I don't think it's the worst one from
No.
season 2. It's just below average.
And here's the thing about it too, is like, did it make sense? No. Was it good as a show? No. Was it fun in a goofy way? Kinda.
A little bit. A little bit.
Yeah. Did it have stuff where you're like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Yeah. Also true.
Yeah. So like, it's still like, watching the whole episode, I think the guy was supposed to be evil all along.
Yeah,
But
that's what they
imply.
That's what they say towards the end of the episode.
Yeah.
Is that it was just all a big scheme from him the whole time.
Yeah, to just fucking call the marmots.
But it makes so much more sense if he's just kind of weird and spooky, but he's genuinely helpful up until he gets possessed.
Yeah.
That's what makes more sense, but that's not apparently what happened.
Yeah. Then it makes sense that he goes, oh, because it makes sense if he was evil to, like, kind of, have Angie, like, put a little bit of resistance before letting her get to the stuff, but without actually trying to keep it from her.
Right. He wants to make sure that the right people get it.
Yeah.
He doesn't just have grimoires out the ass.
Yeah. Grimoire. Hop does say it really funny.
He does
too.
say it really funny. That is 100% the case.
So, ranking this one, I think we're into decimal territory now.
Yeah, this is definitely the one for that.
Yeah. Now, let's see. Above or below the strike?
Strike is where is that? Is that 5?
That's at 4.
Is it 4?
The rig is at 5. This is no rig.
Yeah,
This is certainly no rig.
Yeah, I agree. Above or below the strike? I feel like it's below.
Okay, so Terror of the Deep is at 3.
Terror of the Deep. That's
a Jogan.
That's Jogan. I don't think it's worse than a Jogan.
I don't quite think so either, but it's not.
Like, because a Jogan is just dumb.
Yeah, a lot of
for most of it, and this is just sort of weird and ultimately doesn't make sense.
No.
but like the individual parts sort of make sense. She summons a demon, and the demon sort of does the whole monkey paw wish thing
Yeah.
for her, where it does what she wants, but in a way that she doesn't want it.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with having to complete the ritual to finish it off. To, like,
Right.
to close the loop.
Right.
That's fine. I'm fine with a guy, like, luring her down the wrong path as the bookseller guy.
Uh-huh.
But all of it together with him giving the correct advice, even though he's supposed to be luring her into the wrong thing.
As I said, the
Yeah.
whole thing makes so much more sense if it's just that he gets possessed by a demon at the end, and he turns evil because of that.
Yeah, and then Hoff just murders him.
Because and because they already sort of imply that with the plumber thing.
Yeah, because
'Cause-
maybe.
Well,
I know.
it could be that he's a fucking nut job, but it sort of doesn't doesn't fit with everything else.
Yeah.
He's just sort of
He
weird.
seems like a dude who's just a little weird.
He seems like a dude who's a little weird, but part of his weirdness also seems to be from the situation that he's in,
Yeah.
where he's like, okay, so he's like, I'm supposed to come into this room. I'm supposed to come into this apartment to fix plumbing, but there's all this weird ritual stuff, and I think the
And
person
Andy shit in the sand.
and I think the person's not supposed to be here.
Yeah.
Because
Not even supposed to be here.
because he went in, he'd be like, hey, is anybody here? He knocked on the door. He did all the stuff to be like, hey, is there anybody here? I'm here to fix this. I'm here to fix the sink or whatever. He did all the stuff up to that he's supposed to do, and was weirded out. And then he sort of stumbles on her in bed, and
Wasn't a joke and growl.
yes,
Admo.
stumbles upon her in bed, and she's understandably but a little bit unusually hostile from probably his perspective, right? And so then when he comes back again, he's like, he's still, he probably, I'm guessing, this is a complete guess on my part, is that because of ritual stuff, there's probably like a weird vibe in the apartment. The neighbor lady mentioned like it being like supernaturally cold and stuff.
Yeah.
So he probably feels that there's something weird going on in the apartment. And then while he's just plumbing away, he just flips out and says, I'm gonna kill her and hide in her closet. It's completely out of character.
It is. It's a real. And
The weirdest thing he does after that point is be like, underwear? What is this?
And what's weird too is they didn't need that weird part where he flips out.
Exactly.
Because he immediately then gets his ass kicked by the spirits.
Yeah,
the spirits are protecting her or something.
Yeah, it makes no sense. Like if there was like a bit in there where like he like reveals himself to be much more of a creep, like in the second entrance. Where he's like just digging through her stuff, or he picks up her panties and
Or
sniffs
like
them
he opens up his fucking toolbox and it just has like zip ties and duct tape and shit in there.
right, and knives and stuff.
Yeah, her knife, the chosen knife.
Yeah, maybe even that. There's like little things you could do that would make that make sense as it is, or you could just cut out the part where he flips out and just have him get his shit kicked in. And it's the same sort of thing with the other weird guy in the story, Mr. Bookseller Man, who there's nothing like it makes sense for him to just be a weirdo book dude who sells magic books and was a weirdo because of that.
Yeah. Who's ultimately a benevolent guy.
Who's ultimately not evil and doesn't want the demons about.
Yeah.
But they make it so that, gets possessed and turns evil at the end. That whole arc is pretty common. But it doesn't make sense for him to be, I was evil all along. I was just giving you the right information for no good reason. I told you how to fool me exactly.
Yeah. That doesn't make a ton of sense. It's almost like they had like two people write 2 versions of the script and just mush them together
Yeah.
like a banana sandwich.
Yeah, like a banana sandwich.
You gotta mush them.
I don't think they mushed him in this case. If they'd mushed him, it would be nice and smooth and consistent.
Well, no, you don't puree the banana. You just mush it.
I know.
I don't know. It's more mushed, but not pureed. It's not smooth. It's not incorporated.
I'm not saying incorporated, but if you don't mush them, then the whole things and they sort of.
But they're not quite discrete either. They're just mushed together.
Yeah.
So there's streaks of both of them in there.
Maybe that's closer, but it's still weird that they just don't mesh.
Yeah.
They're
mushed but not meshed is the problem.
it's weird for these two. Maybe they didn't put the peanut butter in.
There might be no peanut butter.
It's just banana.
There might be whole banana and mushed banana, but
Oh,
no peanut
no.
butter.
It's just bananas. Just bananas all the way down.
Or it's just bananas.
BANANAS.
It's just banana mushed together, with peanut butter, no bread.
Oh.
It's just a mess.
So yeah, I think like 3.7 is what my gut's telling me. Maybe 3.5 or 3.6. Because they're so close to it being just for it to not being super weird.
Yeah.
If they just again, you could just again cut out the flip out part for the plumber, or explain that better perhaps.
Yeah.
Or and just either make the bookseller dude make it like make sense that he's evil from the start, or do it where he's possessed at the end and turns evil.
Yeah. And like they're
You
not
can do either one of those for both of those things, and it makes it it removes a lot of the awkwardness of the story.
Yeah.
Because you get hung up on those two bits, and they seem like little bits, but except for I suppose except for the bookseller guy, because that's like the whole plot.
It seems like it's not very important, except for the thing that hinges the entire plot.
Well, it seems like it's not super important. It seems like the little thing to be hung up on is what I mean.
Yeah.
But
I know.
That's like calling the nails that hold a house together little things.
they are little things. You can leave out like one or two.
I replaced all the nails in this house with mushed bananas. It's just a little change in all the wrong places.
Well, I mean, you put the mushed bananas in there, and that's where the marmots go to feed. And they all bite down.
But the marmot wanted chili serranos.
Yeah.
Instead, he has mushed bananas and no peanut butter on sourdough bread.
So do you think like 3.4? Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah, that might be a little more.
How about 3.45?
No.
Just 3.45.
We could 3.33 and half the number of the beast did.
Oh, I like that. Now I'm on board that. I'm on board with that.
All right. So, the next episode is. Let me double check my notes here. I believe it is. Yeah, it is The Cabin. What do you think The Cabin is?
I mean, my joke answer is vampires. I don't think it's vampires.
I want it to be Evil Dead.
I mean, I want it to be Evil Dead 2. That'd be pretty good.
So if he wants Evil Dead, you want Evil Dead 2. Okay.
Well, everybody wants Evil Dead 2. But I'm figuring, just.
Well, are we talking Evil Dead 2 or are we talking Army of Darkness?
Well, I'm talking them going to a cabin where there's a book and demons. And
Yeah.
However,
Well,
they just did a book.
Because Evil Dead 2 is sort of just like the remake.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
But
what about the remake of Evil Dead?
Evil Dead 2 is the People liked it. Evil Dead 2 is kind of like the Gremlins 2 of the Evil Dead franchise, where they took all of the elements of it that were more comedic and threw it back in there and made it less of a horror movie.
Well, again, are you talking Evil Dead 2 or are you talking Army of Darkness?
Yes, actually.
Army of Darkness is the Gremlins 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Gremlins 2 is just bonkers off the wall.
Right, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because Army of Darkness is the comedic one, and then Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2. Evil Dead 2 is sort of just the remake of Evil Dead.
Evil Dead 2 is like, it's like Gremlins, and Army of Darkness is like Gremlins 2.
Yeah. Anyway, pointless quibble. I mean, that's everything we do.
No, maybe Evil Dead 2 is the mush bananas.
Let's see the cabin. The cabin.
And Army of Darkness is a marmot.
So, I mean, I like Marty's idea of Evil Dead, because I mean that's sort of what I hope it to be too. I'm gonna vote for Sasquatch type creature.
Ooh, that's a good guess. I like that guess. It's not correct, but I like the guess.
Yeah.
I said Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
But not Evil Dead 2. Got it. Okay.
Or Evil Dead 2, because it's a remake of Evil Dead.
The bad thing is Army of Darkness might have been closer. Hoff and Angie enter a cabin that takes them back in time.
Holy shit.
Which time? We don't know. Could there be a Sasquatch there? Maybe.
Could be Chinese times for all we know.
Well, Baywatch takes...
Oh crap! When did Ninja Turtles 3 come out?
Must. No.
1993. That's like 3 years before this. They can
Oh,
absolutely go back to
jeez.
the Chinese time.
Oh, God.
I mean, that'd be ideal. That's even better. That's better than I dared dream. And again, my joking answer was still vampires.
Which also could be correct. We don't know.
That's a good point. Oh, they could go back in time and fight Chinese vampires.
Mm-hmm.
The hopping ones?
Yeah. Jiangxi.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Great.
That was a thing.
Yeah. Anyway.
Banana marmots.